Welcome to the Bible Forum. We're here every Sunday night from 8 to 10. You ought to join us live. But tonight I want to talk to you about the horns of the righteous, I should say. For example, do you want to know more about what the politicians are doing, saying, than you do about your children? If you answer the question yes, then you're normal in the 21st century. If you answer the question no, then you are part of the fringe element. Do you follow the events in Washington and on the election trail more than the social trends in your own community, your own life? Has the coronavirus outbreak impacted your life? Are you afraid? Or do you simply take each day as they come and try to do the best you can with what you have? Is it fear? Or is it resignation that drives your choices and your future? The people, the groups attempting to reshape our culture, our world, are working hard to get you to step out of day-to-day responsibilities and get used to letting people and groups who actually know do all this deciding for you. This is a large part of the socialist agenda of which Bernie Sanders is so enamored. Did you know that Bernie Sanders won a plurality of votes Tuesday among New Hampshire Democrats? Democrats who never attend church nor any other religious services? A plurality of that group. Amy Klobuchar did best among those who do attend religious services regularly. We're talking exit polls here. So what does all that mean? It means that Klobuchar is viewed as a Christian, while Bernie is not. Klobuchar is a member of one of the more liberal denominations in America. It's called the United Church of Christ. Now, it's not fair to assume too much from this, except why? This is a group that rejects the key elements of Christianity in favor of unity and fraternity. Their words, not mine. They're aligned with the most liberal of church groups in the world, the National Council of Churches and the World Council of Churches. However, Klobuchar came in second to Buttigieg, an open and avowed homosexual. 22 to 19%. While Sanders won 34% of the vote among Democrats who never attend religious services, Buttigieg, 22%, was second in that same demographic, and Klobuchar, 19%, was third. Klobuchar won 28% among Democrats who do attend religious services once a week. Buttigieg, second at 16, Sanders third at 15, Joe Biden fourth at 14%. A total of 51% of New Hampshire Democrats never attend religious services. 11% attend weekly or more, and 37% occasionally. Among white born-again evangelical Christians, Trump won 94%. Donald Trump, an irreverent man with a history of dubious business and personal behaviors. A man who is clearly pandering to the Christian vote, with motives we can only guess at. In biblical terms, our president does not exude a truly Christian heart. However, only he and God really know. And the state of the public form of church is in such disarray, no one knows who is or who and what is what anymore. In the end, we rely on God in the Bible, which says, if a man build upon this foundation, talking about the grace of God exhibited in the life, death, resurrection of Christ, then he is doing well. Good works do not mean a person is truly saved nor destined for heaven. What it says is that unless the good works are born of the foundation that is salvation, those good works amount to what God calls wood, hay, and stubble. 1 Corinthians 3:12. These things can be burned up. We ask our question, what are we talking about here? When we talk about these good works, well, James tells us in probably the first of the New Testament epistles, probably the first of any of the New Testament writings. In James chapter 1, verse 26, he says, "If any man among you seem to be religious, and bridleth not his tongue, but deceiveth his own heart, this man's religion is in vain." 1 Corinthians 3:12 through 15 indicates how truly born-again Christians can exhibit less than godly attitudes and behaviors and suffer loss in what the Bible calls the day. It's the day in which it's discovered, meaning the judgment seat of Christ. You can get away with stuff all the way up till then, but God knows your heart, and He knows everything you've ever done or said or thought. And the issue here is reward in heaven. It does not say they will be prevented from entering heaven. It simply says they will have no reward, or very little. We're not God. We're human. We're finite. We judge, but we do it based on what we see and hear. The one true God of heaven judges the heart, which no man can know. However, if what we see and hear is not consistent with what we know the Bible teaches about salvation, then we would do well to be wary and careful in declaring such a person to be a true Bible Christian. And the question is why? Well, common sense for one thing, but for the sake of others. Those who are not saved and think if they live this way and they do all these things, this person tells us that they'll be okay. And those who are weak in the faith, the Bible talks about, may follow that pattern, believing all that junk, and be upset at the end. Donald Trump's vote total in New Hampshire was more than 118,000, and is more than any incumbent president has ever received in a New Hampshire primary. President Trump won 94% in the Republican primary among born-again evangelical Christians, a demographic that comprised a third of New Hampshire's GOP voters. Sanders was declared the winner in the New Hampshire Democrat primary, with Pete Buttigieg finishing a close second and Klobuchar third. But the order was much different when examining Democrat voters' religious habits. Apparently, the more Christian the voter, the less likely they were to vote for a man who is enamored of communism, or a man who is married to another man. And all this is indicative of the confusion that reigns in American politics today, a confusion rooted in our basic religious beliefs. I'm talking Christian and Jew and pagan and anything else you can think of. Basic religious beliefs. There's confusion in the whole realm. Psalm 75 reads, "I said to the fools, deal not foolishly, and to the wicked lift not up the horn." Lift not up your horn on high. That is, speak not with a stiff neck. For promotion cometh neither from the east, nor from the west, nor from the south, but God is the judge. He putteth down one, he setteth up another. Even if it's the presidency of these United States. For in the hand of the Lord there is a cup, and the wine is red. It is full of mixture, and he poureth out the same. But the dregs thereof, all the wicked of the earth, shall wring them out and drink them. Meaning, those who reject God in their lives are content with that which is less than good, the dregs. The rulers of this world are focused on this world. They seek to make it work for them. The vast majority are not looking at making it work for you. They proudly believe their way is best. And the God of this world lets them do it. He lets them do it within the boundaries that he has carefully established. And the message here is that human beings are basically morally corrupt. They are self-oriented. They are limited in what they know about life and even about God. It's simple for God to just pull back a little and let them have their way. Their way is not good. Not good as God defines good. And in the end, all the horns, all the power of the wicked also will I cut off. But the horns of the righteous shall be exalted. It's a message for Judgment Day. Something all of us are going to experience someday.